guys, welcome back. So this is going to be an amazing collection. Wow, I cannot believe that I have this thing, to be honest. So $3,750 I spent on it. Was estimated at $12,500 value by Apfelbaum. This is a 3-binder series that I'm gonna make, 1 binder per video, and they're full of amazing covers. Whoever made this was intelligent. They had probably more money than I do, and they were very, very thorough. So here's our 3 binders. The first one we're going to focus on is going to be the history, so that we can get a understanding of the history behind this stuff and an understanding of the postmarks. So that's number 1. That'll be this video. The next one is going to be stampless covers, and these are super duper old, guys. The third one is going to be stamped covers, right? And just a whole bunch of different cool covers in general in that binder. That's probably my favorite binder of all things. But we'll start with this one. This one was $3,750. So we'll get into the history first. Now, I was planning on skimming through this. I started recording that way, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to read this out loud, because this is a 3-binder series, and it's worth taking the time to actually learn these things to understand what we're going to be seeing. And the history is fascinating, so let's go. Now, mail from the Pope's Army, knowledge of history, military hierarchy, Italian and pesky abbreviations all help proper interpretation, by Thomas Product. It says, using the terms military mail and Papal States together can be surprising to many. Some will quickly recover and say, oh yes, there is the Swiss Guard, or weren't there Swiss mercenaries? The reality is somewhat more complex and far more interesting. The Papal States, in what is now central Italy, had a distinct military history that created interesting mail that can be studied today via many distinct markings, along with sometimes hard to decipher handwriting and some maddening, non-standard abbreviations. Of course, this means there are challenges and hurdles for collectors, but with time and patience, the rewards are many. Here I offer a basic review of this fascinating area of study. Historical setting. The Papal States can be traced to the mid-700s, but I am primarily looking at the mail from the 19th century, when the Papal States had 4 provinces: Romagna, Umbria, the Marches, and Latium, also called Lazio. International borders were somewhat fluid and were not formally established until after the Napoleonic Wars. The Swiss Guards, a small unit recruited from Swiss Roman Catholics, operated as a personal bodyguard for the popes beginning in 1500s. Like any political territory, the Papal States needed border protection against transborder bandits, public health control for the plagues that periodically swept Europe, customs, anti-smuggling operations, and internal security. In the 1700s, carabinieri, sorry if I butchered that, carabinieri units were organized for just such purposes. Such units were considered to be military organizations with their own chain of command and are regarded as such in Italy to this day. In the mid-19th century, the carabinieri were reorganized and renamed the Gendarmeria, a more professional force with greatly improved training. This change became necessary because of the increased banditry and conflict in the Italian peninsula. The cross-border banditry, followed by armed conflict, also led to the growth of military forces from small units with 5 to 10 soldiers, primarily used to guard ports and border crossings, among other duties, to enough companies and battalions to equal approximately 20,000 soldiers. The military treated each province as a distinct area of operations and considered each area to be a division. The most typical operation sizes were company, about 150 troops, and battalion, 300 to 800 troops. The Papal States also had the Palatine Guard and the Noble Guards during this time. These units were personally loyal to the Pope, operated within the city limits of Rome, and did not report to the Minister of Arms. They will not be discussed here further, neither will mail from the 3-ship Papal States Navy, while various papers related to these ships are extant. I have not yet found any identifiable naval mail. Interesting. Okay, so on to military mail and its markings. The military structure started with the commissioner, later called the Minister of Arms. The minister had his own hand-stamped franking. This guy, shown on a cover from 1856, right here. Such devices had to be recorded with the postmaster in Rome, so that cost for mail transport could be charged to the correct office. Nevertheless, the minister also made use of the manuscript Servizio Militar, franking at the top right, and that would be this guy right here, Servizio Militar. Most of these are military mail. We will be seeing plenty of that. So this specific one they're showing here is just a picture, and it shows the Minister of the Army cover sent in 1856 to the mayor of Ronciglione, maybe, with 9 Baj fee charged to the recipient. So we'll continue on. So it has the Servizio Militare franking at the top right, which had been accepted for military mail use during the Papal States post since 1792. Interestingly, neither this cover nor the nearby divisional cover has the markings d'ufficio to indicate the correspondence as official mail, right? But they would usually write this d'ufficio on there to indicate it being official mail. And it says the 1856 cover is from the 3rd Division, Figure 2. I see. Then located in Bologna, or Bologna, I guess. I'm not sure how to say it right. On the front, the SM in large script near the top right is abbreviated versions of Servizio Militare franking. So this abbreviation here on this cover indicates it's military mail. Servizio Militare is this. And then, even though it is hard to see, I'll try to zoom in for you. It does say 3 Division. So, 3rd Division on that postmark. Now, the term for 3rd Division shows in the marking at the top left on the front cover, that's what I was saying, which was sent to the mayor of Cento, with a 4 Baj fee charged to the recipient. If it were not for the 2 Baj stamps, if it were not for the two Baj stamps on the back, the marking for the fee could be easily mistaken for a manuscript 5 Baj fee mark based on the information from the foreign post offices in Palestine, basically a book. Each division had garrison units deployed to specific locations, towns, ports, etc., as well as mobile units such as cavalry, infantry, and artillery, which led to some specific markings. At first, garrison commanders used a text block franking, as on an 1850 cover from the garrison at Forlì, Figure 3. Then an oval design was used. So there's our text block. They say then an oval design was used, such as one from a Ravenna garrison commander in 1826. That must be this one. It says Ravenna Commando. Wow, that's beautiful. Finally, the franking used an oval surrounding a graphical design. The DUF, or DUF, abbreviation for Duficio, is found on 2 of the 3 covers. See if we can find it. There it is, right there. There it is right there. So there's our 2 covers with the official male abbreviation. It says, the cavalry, infantry, and artillery units changed locations as military necessity demanded. These units' frankings readily identify the unit, as seen on the next 4 covers. Artillery Commander, Figure 4, which is this guy. This 1846 cover uses the SM abbreviation at the top right. The hand stamp franking indicates it is subordinate to a higher unit in the Città Vecchia. Not sure what that is. So the SM indicates it is subordinate to a higher unit. Interesting. Okay, 2nd Infantry Battalion Commander, Figure 5. This is this. 1818. So it says this 1818 cover is both the earliest known use of a graphical franking and the first known use of papal imagery, tiara and keys, by the military. Okay, so this is the first graphical imaging of any franking, at least the earliest recorded known. This example specifically. That's awesome. It says there is a manuscript X cancel across the lower half of the. Oh my God, I butchered that. It says there is a manuscript X cancel across the lower half with attorney receiving town stamp. Let's see here. Manuscript X, so they're just talking about, I guess, this giant X written. Attorney receiving town stamp. Right there. So I think this image is cut off, but. Alright. 1st Company, 7th Infantry Battalion Commander, Figure 6. This guy. This is an 1840 cover with SMRE at the top right as the abbreviation for Servizio Militare and lacks an official mark. Interesting. Okay, now it says Volunteer Unit Commander, Figure 7. This is a cover from 1841. There was no conscription in the Papal States. Military units labeled voluntary or volunteer consisted of men from 1 or more different countries. Let's see about that. Voluntary. Servizio Militare. Oh, there it is. Voluntary. Huh. So this volunteer unit commander consisted of men from 1 or more different countries. Okay. The Carabinieri, or military police, were given the same male privileges as the army, since these men faced the same communication requirements, as well as having to operate over extensive territory in pursuit of bandits. It says shown as an 1819 Carabinieri cover, Figure 8, that actually used an SM franking found on Army mail. The franking itself actually says Carabinieri. Okay, so it says later covers used Servizio Carabinieri manuscript frankings until the units were renamed as Gendarmeria, if I said that right, it might be Gendarmeria, and the manuscript franking changed to Servizio Gendarmerie. The manuscript franking indicates military mail. It is also the earliest known use of a graphical franking and the first known use of a papal imagery by military police in a stamped franking. The next cover, figure 9, is from the period approximately late 1840s to early 1850s, when the unit's name changed from Carabinieri to Gendarmerie. Oh my god, sorry guys. Gendarmerie. Oh gosh, I feel butchering that. Two major variations in the Servizio franking that appear unique to Carabinieri units may be of interest. The manuscript Servizio Carab and text block frankings with CP abbreviations can be found on Carabinieri mail before 1820. Interesting. So there's just two major variations of the franking for the Carabinieri mail. Okay, there are two significant reasons why military mail is rarely seen with gummed stamps. The first is that the stamps did not exist during this period of the papal military's existence from 1850 to 1852. Second, even after stamps existed, they were not required on mail traveling within the Papal States, and the military only operated within the Papal States. For a period of 12 years, from 1852 to 64. So they just didn't have to use them. They were not required. Finally, in 1864, the stamps were made mandatory for all mail, and the military appears to have ceased use of the frankings, which is just the hand stamp. Overlapping these events were the wars for Italian unification, which led to the shrinking of the Papal States from the loss of Romagna in 1860 to the surrender of Lazio in 1870. Shown in figure 10 is the only known example of military mail using a gummed stamp. An 1867 cover from the Viterbo commander to the Ischia commander. Only the translation of the enclosed letter explained the nature of this cover. Interesting. So that's cool. So basically, they went from a small military force, right, to a large military force guarding the Pope, self-governing military force, the Carabinieri. They were later renamed the Gendarmerie, right? And so this is all pretty informative. Wow, impressive, well made. I don't know if he wrote this or just took this from somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if this book actually belonged to this gentleman, Thomas Prodich, but this may just be like an excerpt from a book, for all I know. But so that gives you the idea, everybody. Just so that you guys know, I'm not perfect with this stuff yet, but I'm definitely getting it. You know, I'm starting to understand the more that I fiddle with this book, that's for sure. But so they went from square to round to an actual design. So when you see the square franking, that will generally indicate an older stampless letter, right? All of these, most of these are stampless, right? Because of what we just read. Yeah, so that's how the frankings evolved. Square to circle to oval with a image, right? And then they have all of the different military abbreviations, you know, and markings. So this is also worth reading, I do believe, as well. So it says, challenges for the collector. The Papal Army was a regional force, not an expeditionary army. Units operated within well-defined areas. generally from fixed fortifications or towns. Historically, official military messages were carried by military couriers, dispatch riders, between units. From the mid-1800s on, the telegraph was extensively used for sending and receiving military messages to and from headquarters, fixed positions, and outposts. The military, therefore, made relatively little use of the civilian mail system. Second, given the history of the foreign armies operating in the Papal States, it is not uncommon to find mail from French military in Italy, also Austrian and Italian unit mail, listed as Papal States material. Third, the war for Italian unification contributed to the destruction of military covers and the letters they contained. Italian forces were alert to seize any writings against the unification effort, as well as the traditional military need for intelligence. What does this mean on a practical level? It says, I have kept a few personal census over the course of my research, it says, in a review of approximately 19,000 pieces of philatelic material from the Papal States, including research with the Smithsonian's National Postal Museum and the Spelman Museum of Papal States collections. Wow. Guys, get this, less than 0.5% constitutes material that is clearly Papal State military covers. And approximately half of the legitimate surviving material is illegible in whole or in part from fading and physical deterioration. Wow. It actually mentions about the author. It says the author, Tom Product, capitulated after 15 years of resisting a friend's appeal to look at the philatelic hobby. His love of logic, puzzles, and learning about neglected Papal States topics combined to create his interest in philatelic exhibiting and writing research articles. Interesting. Wow, so, the guy has looked at 19,000 different pieces of philatelic material, and less than 0.5% is clearly Papal State military covers. Wow. Alright, guys. Whew. If you stuck through all that, thank you. Honestly, it is fascinating. This is the early history of Central Italy and their military structure and, Pope's bodyguards and stuff. That's awesome. So, now that we're done with the history, let's start taking a look at the covers. First page is 1834 Pontifical States Military Mail. Letter to Lugo. It says this letter was sent from the military commander stationed at Lugo. See the oval cachet Comando della Piazza di Lugo. That's this guy. To the municipal magistrate or mayor of Lugo. It says Gonfaloniere del Comune di Lugo. The handwritten Servizio Militare franking across the top of the letter signifies military mail. The letter is dated March 26, 1834. I don't see a date here, it must be inside. In 1834, Lugo was a commune or municipality located in the Romagna in the north-central region of Italy, which is part of the Pontifical States at that time. In 1859, the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont, honestly I'm not sure if it's Piedmont or Piedmont, I have to look that up, invaded the Pontifical States and set up a military government. The United Provinces of Central Italy that included the Romagna. Interesting, so they took over. Following a plebiscite in 1860, Romagna joined the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont, which in turn became the Kingdom of Italy in 1870 and 71. Let's pull this letter out and take a look. Okay. What a gorgeous freaking letter. Look at the handwriting on this thing. Wow. Awesome. So it says number 228. So it has the Comando della Piazza di Lugo, the magistrate or the mayor, right? Postmark there, or franking. It's indicated it's military service mail, Servizio Militare, sent to this location. And on the back has another commander franking on it. There's also some kind of pencil writing. I'm not sure what that is. Looks like somebody must have put that up. Whoa, okay. Definitely do not want to hurt this thing. How are you supposed to open these? Oh my goodness. What is the secret to unraveling this document? How the heck did they ever open it without being rough? I don't want to be rough. Okay. I do this for you guys. I want to see it too. But I want you to see it. So there's remnants of wax seal, it looks like. Wow, look at this. Oh my gosh. So it's one big giant manuscript. Slow and steady, the turtle wins the race. Okay. So this must be the dating. September something, 1834. What do they say? March 26th. So, this is where a lot of this is honestly just illegible to me. I mean, I have no idea what it means. But, pretty cool. So we can take a view of the letter here. It's interesting how they would take a sheet of paper and write the information on certain portions and know to fold it a certain way to make it all into one complete letter. But yeah, this is just a beautifully written letter. Wow, very impressive. I will go right ahead and say, unfortunately, I do not read Italian, and I have no idea what any of these say, except for the frankings and the postmarks. But how absolutely stunning. Also has a little section written here. So as we flip it over, there's more on the back. Man, look at the writing on that. That is so cool. Amazing that they were so good at writing. Look at the pretty little curls and stuff. Man, it's just super pretty. So there you go. I wanted to take this one out so that we could take a peek at it and see what is going on here. I don't know if I'll take them all out, especially if they're folded into themselves like that. That was kind of sketchy, taking it, opening it up. But yeah, that was super cool. Let's move on to the next item. Alright, next, 1836 Pontifical States military mail letter to Castel Guelfo. It says, this letter, dated October 3rd, 1836, appears to be military mail, although it is not marked with the handwritten notation Servizio Militare, military service. It does not. It says it does carry the cachet of the volunteer Pontifical Brigade of Bologna. Voluntary Brigada Bologna. Which is that right there. There was no conscription in the Pontifical States. Military units labeled as voluntary or volunteer were composed of men from one or more different countries. The letter was sent from Medicina to Castel Guelfo. In 1836, both Medicina and Castel Guelfo were communes or municipalities in the metropolitan city of Bologna. The origin of the name... Okay, I'm going to look this up. The origin of the name medicine in Italian is unknown. There is an old legend that the Emperor Frederick Barbarossa from 1122 to 1190 fell ill while traveling from Milan. He paused to rest in a small Italian village, and it was here that he miraculously recovered when a snake fell into his pot of soup. As the story goes, the town was given the name Medicina in commemoration of the emperor's recovery. While he did pass through Medicina, the name of the town predates that time. Handwritten in the lower left corner of the letter is the abbreviation DUF, short for d'ufficiale, meaning an official letter. Let's take a look at this. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Just look at that freaking wax seal right there. Man, what a beauty. I guess it's an M. Fantastic. So we've got a little bit of stuff written. Man, that postmark is just primo condition there. Man, really good condition. Okay. So, it's a military mail, even though it doesn't say Servizio Militar, it does have the official mail written on it. D'ufficiale. The paper still has quite a bit of integrity. It's pretty good quality feeling paper. It's relatively thin, but nice paper. It's pretty strong. Okay, so when we unfold this guy, take a look at this beauty. Different markings. This looks like it says like number 603. Brigade de Bologna, maybe? Hard to see. But wow. Yeah, this is where it, boy, I wish I could read this stuff. That would be killer. It does say the 3rd of October, 1836. It's beautiful. So, sent from Medicina to Castel Guelfo. 1836. Wow. Fantastic. This thing has no problem just collapsing right back into itself. What a beautiful letter. Okie dokie. Next. 1837 Pontifical States military mail letter to Bazzano. It says this 1837 letter was sent from the military police Carabinieri commander in Bologna to the prior. It says prior comunale in the commune or municipality of Bazzano. I don't know what a prior is. Let me see. Okay, it says a prior is an, oh my god, ecclesiastical title for a superior. I've never seen that word before. It says usually lower in rank than an abbot or an abbess. So it's superior. Interesting. Okay, I just realized that turns out carabinieri is, or carbonieri, or however I've been saying it, it's carabinieri. So should have probably looked that up before doing this video. Oops. So essentially the prior is like a superior in the commune or municipality of Bazzano. Bazzano was a commune in the metropolitan city of Bologna. The letter bears the papal arms in the circular cachet of the commander of the military police of Bologna, Comando della Compagnia di Bologna Pontifici Carabinieri. I already forgot how to say that. Carabinieri. God dang it, sorry guys. I'm really going to have to practice that. Carabinieri. Oh my god. Carabinieri. The handwritten Service Carabinieri franking across the top of the letter signifies military mail. Yep, Service Carabinieri. And then it does have the commander's signal. Frank, let's take a look. Okay. Wow. Absolutely beautiful postmark there. And yeah, that is gorgeous. So it has some kind of spotty looking stuff. Interesting. This one's also folded into itself. I'm going to ever so delicately try to persuade this apart and take a look at what we got here. Wants to implode again. All right. Wow. That looks stamped. That's definitely stamped. There's no way somebody wrote that. That's gorgeous. Beautiful handwriting again. You can see the remnants of the I'm guessing wax seal or whatever they used that had been franked over. Several frankings, different locations. That must be the edge of this franking. I have the dates written as usual. Just can't read any of this stuff, but it has a nice thick John Hancock down here, and it's just awesome. Wow. Again, guys, sorry if I butcher these names. So this is a 1838 Pontifical States military mail letter to Montalto. It says, this letter bearing a cachet with the papal arms was sent from Civitavecchia to Montalto on October 6, 1838. Civitavecchia is a commune and port town on the coast of the Tyrrhenian Sea, approximately 37 miles northwest of the center of Rome. So a little seaside town. In 1859, a railroad was constructed that connected Rome to the port city of Civitavecchia. The letter bears the straight line postmark of Civitavecchia. The hand-stamped circular cachet reads Ispezione Economica Militar Civitavecchia, which can be rendered as Military Economic Inspection Civitavecchia. The handwritten Servizio MRE, Servizio Militare, franking in the upper right portion of the cover clearly indicates this is military mail. So this is cool. Wow, so it went through inspection. Military Economic Inspection. Wow. Let's take a look at it. Right. So inspection. Economica Militare. Wow. This thing is really nice. Oh boy. Beautiful cover. Oh boy, it's folded into itself. Look guys, I've been struggling to get these things folded back into themselves without damaging them, and it's a total nightmare, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna leave this one in here. I'm not gonna unfold it. Besides, we can't read it all anyways. I'm sure it'd be nice to look at. I've decided I'm going to open up the ones that are easy to open up. I will say this one is quite firm. The paper, it just does not feel like it's gonna be a gentle process, so forgive me. I don't want to damage it. Next, 1844, Pontifical States Military Mail letter to Via d'Agola? Via d'Agola would be my guess. How'd I do? Okay, it says, this letter, dated May 9th, 1844, is clearly military mail, as can be determined from the handwritten abbreviation SM, short for Servizio Militar, which can be seen in the upper left-hand corner of this letter. The letter also carries the cachet of the Volunteer Pontifical Brigade of Bologna. Voluntary Pont Brigada Bologna. There was no conscription in the Pontifical States. Military units labeled as volunteer were composed of men from one or more different countries. Yep. The letter was sent to Via d'Agola from a detachment of the Volunteer Pontifical Brigade of Bologna stationed at Castel Maggiore and Poggio Renatico. Via d'Agola is located in Romagna, a region in the north-central portion of Italy. Castel Maggiore and Poggio Renatico are also located in the Romagna, a region which remained within the Pontifical States until 1860, when it joined the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont. We read about that. They took them over. So from the Volunteer Military Brigade, huh? Oh, sorry. Cool old stamp. This one luckily is not folded in on itself. I have no reservations opening this guy. Let's see what's in there. Commando de la Campagna. What is it? Huh. These things, they all look fairly similar, but of course they're each totally unique. Yeah, it is fascinating how they fold that paper all into one beautiful little letter. Very cool. Gorgeous. Holy crap. The handwriting, the postmarks, it's all there. Wow, this one, just right off the bat, that is a gorgeous postmark or franking. Holy crap. This is the 1848 Pontifical States military mail letter to Venice. It says, this cover was sent from Rome to Venice, May 21st, 1848. In the upper left corner, there is a cachet with the cipher of Pope Pius IX. Wow. Get out of here. The cachet reads, Intendenza Generale Armata Pontifica, which can be translated as General Administrative Office of the Pontifical Army. The cover carried a letter addressed to General Armandi, who at the time was the Minister of War for the Provisional Government of the Republic of San Marco in Venice. The handwritten abbreviation SM indicates that it is military mail. Wow. Holy crap. This is where, this stuff really starts to impress me. Guys, what the heck? This stuff is so freaking cool. Alright, let's take this thing out. This is a bigger letter than the other ones. Wow. Killer wax stamp seal. Alright. Somebody's written in pencil 1136 on there. Not sure what that's about. Oh man. Oh, is it folded in? I just have to be so careful with these things. Is it? Oh, it's folded in. Sorry, guys. I am not going to take the thing apart out of there. But look at that seal. There's clearly a like they have the shield with like a, sorry for the footsteps above. They have a shield with like 4 individual emblems on it, each in its own section of the shield. Beautiful. Man, I wish I could open this one up. Of course I could, I just really don't want to. It feels so fragile, this one. We're just going to let this one be. Wow. Beautiful. Look at that postmark. That is stunning. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Alrighty, here's the last page of this. There's one more cover to look at. This is the last explanatory page. 1856 Pontifical States military mail letter to Coronaldo. It states, this letter bearing the blue hand stamp cachet of the Pontifical Police. Oh my god, that's so cool. Was sent from Senegalia to Coronaldo on January 29th, 1856. Senegalia is a commune and port town on the Adriatic coast of the Marsh region, which at the time comprised of the east central part of the Pontifical States. Coronaldo is also located in the Marsh region. The hand-stamped blue cachet that reads oh god, I forgot how to say it already. Gendarmeria Pontifica Lake Marsh, Distac de Mont Nuovo. Sorry guys, God, I suck at reading this stuff. Can be translated as Pontifical Police, Legion of the Marsh, Detachment of Monte Nuovo. It says this handwritten abbreviation d'ufficio must be right there. Yep. For it appears in the lower left corner, saying it's official. Wow, awesome. Pontifical Police. How about that, huh? Is she openable? And it is. Alrighty. Let's check it out for fun. It says here something. Oh, 1856. What did it say? January, huh? Whoa, look at this. What? It's like brown ink. Holy moly. That is outstanding. Instead of opening it up. Wow. That's some pretty cool stuff, guys. Very, very cool letter. Wow. So that one was pretty cool. So was the last one. And then our final one is a loose cover. It says 1848 Papal States Volunteer Corps Military Mail to Venice, Venezia. So it's about $100 cover. Now, I think most of these covers are, to be honest, I think about 100 to 150 bucks. Which is surprising in a way. I mean, yeah, that's good value, but wow, I mean, for such an old special cover, you know, you would think that they might be worth a little bit more, but that seems to be reality, and that's okay. Now, I will say some of these are absolutely worth more than that, without question. But this is pretty cool. Here we can see the Servizio Servizio Mill, so we know it's military mail. And then it says Intendencia General del Corps Voluntari, so we know it's volunteer corps, so volunteer military. This one is folded in, so we'll be leaving this guy to just maintain its integrity. Cool. Maybe some kind of green wax, you can barely tell. How cool was that? Awesome binder. I love those things. Incredible history. I will say specifically the one that I love is the snake falling in the pot of soup. That's so cool. I've never heard of that. I like this binder a lot. The next binder I like more, and the third binder I like even more. So this was probably one of the longer videos, I'm gonna guess, out of the three, just to go through all that history. But now that you guys have an understanding of the postmarks and the abbreviations and stuff, then it makes these letters easier to identify, because there are many, many more to check out. And as I was going through this binder, I remembered that the next one's coming up. I mean, there are some letters that I just cannot believe how cool they are. historically amazing stuff coming up. So I usually do one of these videos every weekend, so maybe next weekend will be the next binder, unless some other subject catches my eye or interest and I decide to do a different video. I intend to do the next binder next weekend, so stick around on my channel and see what I've got to offer on the next one of this unbelievable Papal States collection. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.